Hi guys, welcome to the Business Analysis course. My name is Ankit Taneja. A little introduction about me. I have done my bachelor's of engineering from India. I have worked in an IT company as a business analyst in India. I have done my post graduation in business from York University. I have worked as a business analyst in two of the major banks in Canada and one of the biggest universities in Canada, and currently working as a lead business system analyst in one of the major banks in Canada. I have more than 8 years of experience. So let's get started. So first of all, first questions that comes in mind is why business analyst? Well, there are various reasons why business analyst is a very popular career. First of all, it's a very high paying job. It pays on an average 80 to 100K. It can depend from region to region, from city to city, but this is the average salary. For some of the major cities, 110K is the average salary. Second reason is you know technical background is needed. Even if you have done your uh, degree or your education in some other uh, field and you want to switch over to IT or business analyst career, it's very easy to do so. So let's get started and learn some basics about who is a business analyst, what they do. So, who is a business analyst? So there are some roles which business analyst uh, does. First of all, they, whenever they're in an organization, they check the current processes, what are going on. They identify the issues and then fix them and work on the solution. And finally, they improve their processes and systems. This is one of the responsibilities of business analyst. And second is they act as a bridge between the business and the IT team. So we'll be studying a lot about this later in the course, uh, how they act as a bridge between the stakeholders and the development team. Another reason why business analyst is very popular is business analyst is required in every field, may it be banking and financial, insurance, healthcare, human resources, telecom, airlines, marketing, manufacturing, construction. So in all these fields, a business analyst is required. Let's dive deep into the role of a business analyst. Well, there are various roles which a business analyst has to do. So first of all is requirement elicitation. So there is a we always get requirement from a business, also known as stakeholders. They give us the projects, and as a BA, it becomes a responsibility to take requirements from them. So for taking the requirements, we have to ask them various questions so that they are clear on what they want and we have a mutual understanding on what is required. This process is called requirement elicitation. There are various techniques which we'll be covering in the next videos. The second responsibility is understanding and recognizing the organizational business objectives. So it's very important to understand the goals and objectives of the business because they can have different goals and objectives, and according to that, we have to work. The third thing is creating and maintaining documentation. This is very important. So we will be doing a whole class on documentation. There are various documentation which a business analyst has to do to make sure project is running on time and also to make your team understand what is going on. It is important to have a good documentation and also to keep on maintaining it. That means updating it regularly. Fourth responsibility is interacting with both business and the IT team. So we have stakeholders on one side and we have developers on one side. and a BA acts as a bridge between them. Dev, Dev has more technical knowledge, whereas stakeholders have more business knowledge. A BA is a person who has both business and IT knowledge, and that's why this person becomes the best person as a communication channel between these two teams, and therefore it becomes their responsibility to make sure to coordinate the things between both the teams. And another responsibility of a business analyst is testing. So whenever, after taking the requirements, whenever the work is finished by the developers, it becomes the responsibility of a business analyst to do the testing, manual testing. There are also other teams for testing, such as quality analyst, but I'll explain you the difference between BA testing and quality testing in the later on videos. So next comes the organization chart. So it's very important to understand the organization chart. So we have project managers in the team. They are responsible for budget, timeline, and resources. So a PM manages budget, timeline, and resources. A PM can be a project manager for various teams, and every team has a product owner. Product owner. They are responsible for the the product or the application. So they have to monitor everything the team is doing and make sure everything is running on time. If there are any challenges, they reach out to the PM and they report directly to the project manager. And then we have BA. BA is in the job. We will be studying the responsibility in detail, but giving a little introduction is they take the requirements, document them, they coordinate between team members, they also help in testing. There are other things also BA does, but this whole course is on business analysts. So let's study the other team members which are in the team. So we have developers in the team as well. They are back-end developers, and we also have front-end developers. Back-end developers are the developers who do everything on the back-end, such as a database and writing the code in Python or Java. Whereas the front-end developer uh, does the UI UX changes, which is the front page which the user see. For example, if you log into Facebook or Instagram, whatever a user can see is done by a front-end developer. Now we also have people who are full stack developers. They can do both backend and front end. Just for your clarity. We also have quality analysts in the team. So quality analysts do testing. Now you you must be thinking, well, BA and QA both do the testing. So what is the difference? A BA does manual testing. As the business analysts know the requirements, they have taken the requirements, so they know how to test, and whatever features were required, they check each and everything manually, whereas QA mostly do automated testing. Also, there is one more advantage of quality analyst in the team, that it gives a third person perspective of if there is a issues, because since BA, PO and developers are working throughout the project, they might miss something which a QA can later on realize. So these are the team members, mostly in the project team for IT. Their teams could be changed depending on the company to company and depending on the industry, but this is what a organization look like. This is just one project team. Similarly, a company has various project teams at the same time. Let's move forward. So let's study the business process. It means how business works, what is the first phase of the business, and slowly we'll study how to get the last and the final phase of the business. This is just a generic business process. You do not have to memorize it. It's just for your understanding. So first phase is plan. We have to develop a project plan. It is the first phase and the final activity of the planning phase. When we develop a project plan, it defines what, when, and who questions, like who will be performing the task, what are the resources required, what people are required, how much time it will take, how much effort is required, things like this. So the planning is the first step in any business process. So this is the whole process we'll be studying. The second phase is analysis. Once we have done the planning, now we have to sit down with the team to make sure whatever we have planned can work accordingly. The second phase comes analysis. So we have something called JIRA session, joint application development. In this, we sit with the IT team and we have meeting for several days after, and we explain them the requirements and to understand if the project is feasible or not. Once we know it is feasible, we can move ahead with the project or we reach out back to the stakeholders for the changes. Requirement definition document. We we write as a BA, we create this documentation, and then finally there is sign off, which both the business and the project team does the sign off. That means they have both agreed to move ahead in the project and will moving ahead in the project from now. The next phase is design phase. The primary goal of design phase is build the technical architect to support the system. Here we design the technical architect and the design system model. This is done by architects. So a BA just has to know uh, if the project can be done it is feasible, it can be completed in time, it can be done under the cost, it is feasible, and what are the current, how system works currently, and what are the future needs. A BA, it also becomes a responsibility of a BA to create some relationship diagrams, flow diagrams, so that it's very easy for the developers to understand how the process will go. So they will create something like a flow chart to explain how the process work, what will be the first step, what will be the second, what will be the third, after the work has been prioritized. The next comes the development phase. In this, IT teams work and transform the design into an actual system. In this phase, they also write the coding programs, they also create database, they deploy the equipments, install various hardwares and softwares, and they basically build the technical architect and build the database and the programs. Next come the test phase. Testing phase is very critical because whatever we have created, we need to test it thoroughly. We must have a testing plan where all the conditions are written, and from that conditions we can check one by one if we are meeting all the requirements. This is done by both BA and QA. When anything is tested properly and we are ready to move ahead, we move on to the implementation phase. In this, we bring the system into life by placing it into the organization. It is also called go live, or people also call it production. In this, you basically have to train the team, whoever will be using it, how to use the system. You have to write the user documentation, basically provide a demo or a training to the employees. If you go to any website and see a demo being provided to you, that is a part of the implementation phase where a user has the option to just get a quick demo and to understand what are the new features included or how to use this app properly. Once the implementation phase is done, then we next come to the maintain page. Maintenance is the final phase of the business process. It is the and it is used to monitor and support the new system users. If there is any issue, it is the team's responsibility to fix it, and this phase is ever going until at a certain support at a certain phase the next team takes over, such as the DevOps team or the production team. Then the project is finally over. Initiating a project. Well, in this phase, uh, this is the very beginning of the phase. I'll be teaching you from the very beginning how a project is started, what is the business case. So let's move ahead into this. Well, first thing is understanding the business objectives. First of all, we have to understand what is the purpose of the project. A project can have various purpose. It could be for profit. It could be because of the organization is receiving various complaints and you're working on a solution. It could be because a competitor just launched an application and you want to have that similar thing uh, in the organization as well. It could be because of competition. The next thing is what are the goals and the objectives of the project. Similarly, you need to understand what their goals are. So, in the eye of the business, um, what is the success according to them? So, once you understand the goals and objectives and what success means to them, you can make better decisions and you'll understand the project better. Well, we'll be studying about the business case. This is the first document which is written in any project. A business case. What is a business case? Business case is a decision-making tool used to determine the effects a particular decision will have on profitability. So basically, this case acts as a tool to determine what decision you want to take, if you want to move ahead with the project or not, if the project can be completed in what time and in what budget. So all this is decided into a business case. So why is it used? As I said, it is to convince the key decision makers why the project is essential, why we need to do the project, what will be the benefits of the project. When is it used? Mostly it is used at the beginning of the project to make the business understand what we are doing to make the project team clear. So there should be an agreement between the business and the project team. So basically, business case act as that agreement. What they are doing, what are the goals, objectives, the timeline, the budget, everything is decided into a business case. A business case is generally created by a business analyst. It can also be created by the business manager or the project managers. Well, here is the sample of a business case. It is also called a project charter. Just letting you know so you don't get confused. It is known by two names. business case, and a project charter. Well, it contains basic information like project name, sponsor's name, project manager, when was the project approved, what was the last revision date if there were any changes. It it also has things like strategy. Well, what are the options we are considering, or what is the scope of the project? What are we going to do in this project? Then we have to understand the cost and benefits. It is also known as cost benefit analysis. Basically, you compare the cost and the benefits and make the decision if the money you are spending on the project is worth it. You are gaining enough from the project so that you do not have to suffer later on. We also have something called SWOT analysis. SWOT is knowing the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and finally understanding the risks or the threats. So basically, there are various analyses which can be done uh, to understand if the project is beneficial for the team, how much time it will take, how much cost will be there, what will be the ROI. ROI is basically the money you will be getting after the project is released, how much you will be making the first year, the second year, the third year. So these all things help the project to take the decision if this project is worth it. So this is the first document which is created in the project, first document and a decision making tool. After this business analyst, after the business case is written and both the teams, the business and the project team agrees on this, they both do a sign off and the project begins from here. So uh, so that is all about the business case. For For more understanding, you can check some other business case examples to get a better understanding. Thank you so much for watching this video. For more videos, please subscribe to the channel and we'll be uploading all the videos for the business analysis course. Thank you.